Alright guys, we are back, and welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival 9.5.0. Alright, I've got a problem, and the problem is that I don't have any neodymium. Because I wanted to make a total of 4 advanced constructors for the next part of our build here, and I don't have enough neo to do that. It's only actually able to make 1, so I already had 1 built, so I have a total of 2. So I'm trying to decide if I want to go get that now, or later. It gets started with what we can do right now, and then do the rest of it later. Let's put that stuff in there for the moment. So let me think about this for a minute. Those don't stack, do they? All right. Well, let's just see what we can do for now. And at some point, I am going to have to go get some neodymium. Okay. So this is our crafting / hover bay down here. And so the way things are going to work now is on one side of this room we'll have our machinery, and the other side will be parking spots for hovercraft. Okay, that's the general idea. So let's get our paint gun out. So the hover vessels, or at least my mining hover vessel, is 2 blocks wide by 3 blocks long. And so what I'm thinking is, let's get... no, that's not what I want to do. I want to go here, and I want to go to Symbols, and go to this page. We've already done that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make... I'm just sorry I'm being quiet here, guys. I'm just thinking. Deep in thought. There. So our little hover vessel should be able to fit in there, because this is actually 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4 long. And it's only about 3 long. And it's actually only about 1 wide too. So I'm almost wondering if we should take this down to the planet, and because I like to have the actual vessel with me, just to make sure it looks right. Well, and if we did that, then we could also take a quick sidestep and go get some neo too, which we need to do. So maybe I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to take the warp shuttle down to the planet, to our base. I'll fly the J-Jet back up here and grab the cap ship, and we'll actually fly the capital ship down to the planet, so that we can use our hover vessel put the hover vessel in there and actually look at it, see what it's going to look like, because here again, I know what the dimensions of it are, but I want to actually see it and see what it looks like to get the right feel for it. And we need to get neo too, so we're going to kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I think we'll do that. So I will bring you guys back when we get planet side, and we'll go from there, okay? So see you in a bit. Alright guys, I found a spot that's reasonably level. It's still not super level, but I think it's good enough to do what we need to do. I've always kind of thought of this base as more like just a little outpost. It's not like, I mean, it is my actual only planet-side base, but I wasn't planning on putting a lot of effort into it. So that's why I don't actually have a pad for a capital vessel. If and when we do in this season create like a home base, we're going to not do it on this planet. Do it on a planet that we discovered and really like while we go exploring. My word, you're loud. And you should give more meat too. What the hell? Alright, one of the things I want to do is I want to see... Oh, do we not have any power? Why in the hell do we not have power? We should have a ton of power in here, unless... Oh, did I leave this on? No? Huh. Alright, well, let's just throw a couple of these in here. Weird. Is there something wrong with my solar panels? No, they seem to all be there. Alright, yeah, I don't know. This space is always like completely full of power when I come down here. So I don't understand why it isn't now. Did I leave this on? Nope. This is not on. That doesn't have a power thing. We have to leave the refrigerator on. That constructor's off. That one's on, but a single constructor not doing anything isn't going to be draining that much power. So yeah, I don't get that. I'm not sure what happened there. Anyway. Okay, so what I was saying is, do we have any Neo here? We have none in there. We have a tiny bit in there. It's such a small amount that I don't even think I'm going to bother taking it from here. Yeah, we're gonna have to go. Definitely gonna have to go mine some Neo. Okay, let's put you guys in there, and we'll cook up the meat. Okay, so what we're gonna do is grab our camo miner. Take it out to the ship. Here, let's take it in through the front because I don't have sensors set up yet either, so the doors usually give me a hassle. Look at that. And my camera gets a little wonky though. No, don't dock yet. Alright, how in the hell? Yeah, it gets a little hard to see where we're going here. Okay, that's pretty even there. Now, if we go all the way back till we touch... Whoops. And then just bring it forward a tad. I think that's what we want to do. Okay, so let's cut the power. Alright, so looking at this... I suppose, realistically, we would want to leave a little bit of a walk space behind in case, we had to get back here to do maintenance or something. But what I'm thinking we might be able to actually do is change this, at least for this this particular hovercraft. What am I doing? I want symbols, and I want this. Okay, and then we'll do that, and that gives us more room out here. And I'm thinking too that probably it would just look better to do that. Not have the little curvy thing there. Okay. So what does that look like from over here? Oh shit, I need food. Alright, we gotta run back and grab those 2 pieces of meat. Before I leave the planet, I'm gonna go... Whoa, hello. I'm gonna go get a bunch more seaweed and make some more protein bars. That's just the easiest and fastest way to do food right now, since I don't have a farm set up down here. Once we get the ship, going full bore, though, then of course we'll have our farm on the ship itself. Elion's done a little bit better job with the motorcycle in recent alphas, but they still don't seem to get that motorcycles can climb hills. I always thought that was a little odd of them. Alright, here. We'll stick that up there. Okay, so let's grab this hover vessel too, just so we have a couple that we can play around with. This is, in terms of the dimensions, this one's pretty much exactly the same size as the other one. The other one just has better upgrades on it. But what we'll do with this one is we'll kind of figure out what the ideal spacing is between the hover vessels. I might even, just in the interest of time, because I'm trying to get this ready for the contest, I might admin spawn in my other 2 hover vessels. But I am planning on having 2 mining vessels on the ship. It may not be this particular one. I'll probably spawn in another one of the better ones, and I'll leave this one at the planet side. Okay, so I think ideally we should be a block away. So probably something like this. And then we were going to pull that other one forward a little bit too. Oh, this one's got the detector doohickey sticking out the side. So what if we pull it forward to maybe about here-ish? And then we'll hop out. This one must be set to, to public, because it didn't dock. Oh, no, it's set to faction. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not the leader of the faction on this particular server, and because of that, I can't change that back. Okay, let's get back in here, too. And let's move this one forward. The idea is we're going to want to be able to walk behind it. There, I think that's good. All right, cool. So for this hover vessel, what we're going to want to do is get our texture gun out and basically do the same thing here. This one is the wrong direction. Is that right? Yeah. You know what we could actually do back here is, here, I've got to make this a corner piece. There. Is that right? Yeah, I think I just have this one hanging out a little too further, but it's got the doohickey on it too. What if we use this one? Nah, I don't like that because it doesn't line up with that one back there. However, for the centerpiece, it seems to work okay. There. So that gives quite a bit of space in between hover vessels, but we still have more room over here. Let's get back in this one and scooch it over a little bit to about here. Oops. And then we're going to also want to back it up more too. Basically, we want the lasers inside of the yellow lines there, more or less. Okay, I have to remember to take this thing back off before we take off on the ship because it isn't docked. All right, cool. So let me see here. I have 2 more hovercrafts that I've recently built, and one of them's going to be, well, actually they're probably both. One of them is definitely bigger than the other one, and the other one might be at least longer. So I guess we're going to have to go back to the pad on the base there. Now we're going to spawn in our other 2 hover vessels. So let's start with, let's see, hover vessel. We want, which one do we want? This one. So this was the first hover vessel that I built when I first started doing Empyrion videos. So this is about a year and a half-ish or so ago. No, not spawn. So it's not super durable, but it is kind of cool looking. One viewer told me they thought it looked kind of like a Formula One race car. But it's made out of, I never did, upgrade it to hardened steel. So it's all just basic steel. So it's a fairly cheap early game hovercraft, but it does look pretty cool. And I'm going to showcase it in the contest. So I haven't actually spawned this in a long time either. So I'm assuming everything's okay with it. Okay, so that's that one. And then this one I've built more recently, and this is what I call my space RV. And this is a pretty fancy schmancy hovercraft. I designed it for and used it in, I think, Alpha 7 it was. And we used this hovercraft to explore a class what was at the time called a Class 4 planet. And it has basically everything you need on it, all the amenities, constructors, repair stations, medical bay, and it is quite literally an RV that you can go around on and explore planets groundside. And I might actually end up using this again for that purpose at some point in the future. It takes a long time, of course, to uncover a planet from the ground, but you also see the planet, I think, in a different way, and so it's kind of a taking your time and stopping and smelling the roses kind of idea, So You know, I do actually think about it too. I do have one other hovercraft that I made in, I think, Alpha 8 when I had my mountain base. And that hovercraft is actually more of a bike. It's like a hover bike, and I use it for hunting golems, and it actually works very well for that. So maybe we'll spawn that one in too while we're at it. Okay, so let's hop on up here. So this is definitely going to be the largest hovercraft that I have. And that's kind of why I wanted to have it here. What I might end up doing with this one too, and my camera's all jacked up. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to deal with it this way. This one, because it's, you know, so much larger, I think I'm going to park it sideways. We are going to want a little bit of room to walk along the side there. So I'm thinking we hold it out to maybe about here. And then we want it back away from the door about a block-ish or so. It's kind of hard for me to see with this angle, but... Alright, let's try that. Uh-oh. We got the stupid cockpit issue again, don't we? There we go. It let me out. Okay. So yeah, we'll probably... My thought is I'll probably park that there. That's a good spot for it. So let's just leave that there for the moment and go get the other two hover vessels before we make the ultimate markings, the final markings back. Can I actually spawn a hovercraft in on a capital vessel? Let's see. Let's see. Here's my hover bike. I think, yeah, this was the latest version. I can. Nice. Yeah, I know. Here, let's get the food on the toolbar here. So this guy, like I said, I built this guy to hunt golems. Well, actually, it's good for hunting anything, really. You take it out and you hunt a bunch of lizard mules or whatever. And it was pretty simple to build. Didn't take that long. Nothing too fancy, but it does have combat steel on it, so it's pretty tough. Except for the cockpit here. But we can upgrade that to the armored cockpit now that we, have those to use. All right, so let's put a little bit of fuel into here. Yeah, there goes the timer. I'm going to keep you with me just a little bit longer so we can finish this episode. All right, so this hover vessel, I think, oh, you know what? It's every bit as long as the miners, isn't it? All right. Maybe even a little bit longer with the gun sticking out the back. I'm thinking somewhere probably about here-ish. But I'm not gonna worry too much about it until we get the other one in here, so we can figure out all of our spacing. Because the other one is relatively long too, so I'm thinking it's probably going to also park in here sideways. Let's go grab it real quick. Look at me, acrobatic motorcyclist. Excuse me, I got a really nasty cough going on. Never fun. All right, and climb in this guy. And same thing, we will put one fuel cell in it. That's all it needs. I actually haven't, like I said, I haven't been in this hovercraft or spawned it in for a long time. It does have some Gatling on it, though. This was built back when before we had the retractable turrets too. So it's fun. I've also built one other hovercraft on multiplayer, but it's super basic, and I'm not going to have room for it anyway, so I don't think I'll worry about that one. And you know, if you guys ever see any of my builds that you'd like, some of them are on the public workshop, some of them are not. So if you ever see one that you'd like and it's not on the workshop, just let me know and I'll be happy to put it up there. Alright, are we more or less straight? Pretty much there. Ooh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be really tight. Let's leave this here for a minute and hop out. Alright. Just trying to think, because this whole side over here is going to be constructors and storage. So I don't want to park anything over there. I guess we're going to have to bring this one more forward. So that being the case, I'm going to do this. We'll make this a curve. And we'll make this a curve. I don't want to accidentally paint my hovercraft, so let's hop back in it for a second. Hopefully we don't get stuck really bad. Just move it all the way out for a minute so I can finish the painting. I'm stuck. There we go. Nope. Wait. Yeah. Weird. That's weird, man. Okay, so we'll put this here. I had it there. Okay. So based upon that, well, no, let's get this parked first. Oh man, come on, camera. Okay. Just want to nudge it that way, just a smidge. And then we're going to have to hold this pretty much all the way forward. I'm not sure if that's the ideal spot or not. Seems to me if I turn around and look out the back of the cockpit, then that's when it actually pops me out okay. Alright. I want to bring this forward just a smidge more, because we don't have a ton of space to play with here. Why are we doing that? Oh, because the ship's not perfectly level. Alright, let's get back out to here. Wait a minute. I don't have control of this now. What am I doing wrong? Are the thrusters off? Oh, they are. How'd that happen? Don't even know how that happened. Alright. So that's probably right about in the middle, but we want to bring it forward some more. I wish I could get out there to see it, but yeah, the camera's there we go. So maybe right about there, I'm thinking. back up and move it over about there. Okay, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. Okay, turn around, look out the back. Yeah. Huh, okay. Well, it does seem to work. It is weird, though. Alright, now we might be able to move the bike over a smidge. Let's get these in place. What if we just did this for the bike? It's narrow enough to where we could get away with it. Okay, so let's move it right about in the center. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, now it's really just a matter of sliding this sucker over to the side. Let's go ahead and paint our lines first, because we kind of know what we have to work with now. Then we'll do the corners. All right, and yeah, actually, right. Whoops. Since these ones are going, being parked long ways, we'll put the curve in. There we go. That ought to work. Then right about in the center. And I think we probably want to pull it forward a tad. Can't really tell what it's looking like in the back. So let's try that. I think that's pretty good. I think that's really good, actually. Close enough. Close enough. All right, cool. So we got all of our hover vessels in place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy back to the base, because it's actually a faction hover vessel, not my own personal one. And we'll probably just leave this slot empty for now. Well, no, you know what? I'm just going to spawn. I'm going to spawn the other one in too, just to get it done. So that way we have everything in place for the contest. I think we'll do that. We're just going to fudge on that one a little bit. If I had a little more time, I'd just build it legit. But at this point, my number one priority is just to get everything ready. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to spawn in. I'm going to spawn into the other hover vessel and park it in that spot. And then take the blacklight back up to the space station. And then we will continue working on it up there. I don't want to work on it in atmosphere because it's just too much of a pain to get around. That looks pretty straight. And let's stop here and get our food and our medical supplies. I'm going to leave a half a stack of these here. Of course, I did that before and they all spoiled because we lost power in the place. Yeah. I wonder if that's happened because it was really cloudy out and maybe over time we lost some of our power or something. I don't know. Let's make sure that's topped off. I don't actually need to take any of those with me. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Come and hang out with us on Discord. Come and hang out with me on a live stream. I do live stream several times a week on Twitch. And you can find the links to both of those places in the About section of the YouTube channel. Version 2 is what we want there. And don't forget, this coming Wednesday on March the 13th, which is 2 days from now, we are going to have our Any Build contest. And where people can enter original builds into the contest, and we will have the viewers in the stream vote on their favorite build. The winners will be featured here on my YouTube channel and on my friend Stock Gaming's YouTube channel. And we will also have some game key giveaways for some lucky winners as well. So I hope you guys can come and make it for that. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.